Hey, what's up, guys? James again with the subject supposed to speak. And yeah, I kind of surprised myself taking a liking to doing this. Um, all questions of viability and viewership aside, uh, yeah, uh, the sort of implied viewer has become my friend, I guess. Even though you're not even there. Um, so, and again, once again, that goes back to the concept of the other with a capital O, right? Um, you are the one who is supposed to understand what it is that I'm saying. Who's supposed to be able to take these messages that I'm sending out and to be able to decipher them. Um, and there's an interesting little theoretical tidbit where uh, you know Fink talks about how for the analyst needs to embody or become possessed with the mantle of the objet petit, which that's French. In English, object little other, right? And the idea is for the analyst to basically assume the sort of mantle, I want to say, that anyone who we might love would, right? Whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's friendship. Um, Parents are a little different. They take on this sort of symbolic uh, mantle. They're kind of the gatekeepers of the world of sense and significance for us. So, but there's the object A is probably still there, right? Or and it's just this mantle of you know um, affective inclination, I guess. You ever meet somebody who's just immediately sort of really sprung on you and just likes you, and maybe you're a little disconcerted by this. I know I have certainly been in the past, and I'm sure I've done my fair share of disconcerting, to be completely straight about it. That's, as a human being, that's what we do. We sort of find ourselves in the midst of these identifications, these imaginary identifications that we have with people. Um, but to try and lay this concept bare, when we approach and engage with somebody in a loving fashion, whether again it's friendship, familial love, romantic love, whatever it happens to be, there's this imputation, right, of this other being somehow for me in some way, and myself being for them, and there's this desire for closeness and this recognition at the same time of the fact that this person is their own person, and that they're, in some sense, their selfhood is infinitely distant from us, right? We can't collapse ourselves into each other. We have to, we can't share minds, as it were, and this is sort of a constitutive feature of our embodiment as embodied selves, right? The only person's thoughts that are directly available to me, the only person's feelings that are directly available to me are mine. Um, you know, and in all of our relationships, we have to settle for, uh, on pain of them being something other than relationships, um, we have to settle for uh, the other sort of meeting us on mutual ground and sharing with us, in a way that's going to be mediated in every instance. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with this, but I guess what I'm trying to do is to get across to you, my viewer here, that without the imputation of this very same mantle, if there wasn't, if the motivation for this wasn't love in some sense, this wouldn't be happening, right? I wouldn't be able to do the very thing that I'm doing, and that's to speak to something or someone as if it were there, um, and to conceive of this implied other as if it were another for me. So maybe that's just a very long and convoluted theoretical way of saying that somehow the camera has become my friend in this process, and there's something certainly strange and possibly disconcerting about that. But be that as it may, um, here we are, and I'm talking, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want and or need to say. It's a tough night. It's almost midnight. I'm not very tired. Like I said, I took off work today, worked on some of my remote stuff through the other job, my part-time job. Got a couple hours in there, and I'm still a little sick. Got this sinus infection still going. Wondering when it's going to go away finally. Um, take my meds. That is my antibiotics and stuff like that, and quaffing tea all day, drinking water, trying to stay hydrated. And it's like there's still a lot of vital energy in me that wants to be expelled. And it's a Friday night. Can't do it because I'm sick. I need to stay home and rest. So this is my substitute for any kind of substantial social interaction this evening. And so here we are. Yeah, I was really irritated earlier. My niece was bolting upstairs, went to her room, slammed something, slammed the door. This is all happening at like 11:30 at night. This is just routine kind of bullshit that I get to deal with if we're living here free of rent at my folks' place. And yeah, obviously it's not something that I'm thrilled about. It's probably something I'm pretty embarrassed of, to be honest. Um, and yeah, so the question is what to do about it. And I've been talking at length, I think, already about what I'd like to do, what I'm trying to do about it. And that is to try and move on and move forward in my life, and to try and go off somewhere. Give me 1 second here. The current plan is to try and gain accession to the Army. My intended goal would be probably 68X, which is a mental health specialist. 68W whiskey also sounds nice. If for any other reason than that, you get to be out in the field, and you get to administer medical care, and there is kind of a morale keeping and mental health component to that too. So that might actually be better, a little bit more exciting and fun than a desk job. But you have to count on being deployed frequently, and trauma care is a very stressful sort of business as well, as any emergency medical technician will tell you. One of the most drastically underpaid gigs as far as medical care goes. It's intense. People getting licensure as an EMT, and they often get paid less than $15 an hour, and they work abysmally long shifts, lots of overtime, and it should come as no surprise that these people, a lot of them end up suffering from complex trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, right? What are we gonna do about it, right? can't do nothing. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, so I guess that's the caution I'm telling myself about 68 whiskey is, you know, on the other hand, you hear about a lot of whiskeys mopping floors in hospitals. So I'm sure it's a mixed bag. Um, and obviously, it's not like it's always balls to walls action. So there's probably a lot of downtime to a lot of garrison living and, pitching tents in the field and dealing with mosquitoes and crappy living conditions. But 68Xs also will have to deploy at some point. So I don't know. It's a toss-up, I guess. The first thing though is to gain accession, right, and to get these waivers for my sort of orthopedic issues knocked out. Shoulder feels really good. My hip feels pretty good as well. Both of these things that I had, significant major surgery on in the past 2 years, really 1 year. Well, the hip's almost at the 2 year mark, the shoulder's at the 7 month mark, and I think it seemed to be going pretty well. Before I got sick, I was running at a good clip. For being a 220-pound dude, I was going pretty fast, hit a 7:30 mile. Not bad for just, a week or two back at it. Fortunately, I got sick, strained my hamstring, minor strain. Yeah, hopefully I'll be back at it and be able to sort of get myself in the kind of shape that, would make me feel really confident going into boot, depending on whether or not these waivers pass through or get kicked back. In the meantime, dreading returning to my full-time gig, which I plan to return to this coming Thursday. Yeah, it's just really quite abysmal. But I guess it could be worse, and that probably should be my attitude towards it because it's money in the meantime. Apart from that, there's the possibility of me reinvesting in my old personal training business that I did pretty well with for a time, fairly well with, given that I didn't have a tremendous volume of clients. There's this like Facebook marketing guru guy who seems to have a pretty compelling program, and the fact that he's approached by Facebook, lends him some credibility. So, and that could be huge too. If I can just cough up the change to get on board with him and see what his whole shtick is. That is probably the most financially viable option. Gauging from what his clients say, about making, exorbitant amounts of money in a training business. And the great thing about that is that, living here in the Canal Valley, there's just no shortage of people who want to be involved with fitness. It's kind of a vapid deal, but you know what? You get to really help people, and it's there's a sense in which it's a lot more practical, and the results and rewards are a lot more tangible than what you typically get with mental health care or can get. And it's a toss up. I think with rendering mental health care, a lot of professionals are going to have to expect that the people they are servicing, most of them aren't going to make drastic changes by leaps and bounds. I think for talk therapy to help, people have to be in it, perhaps even indefinitely. Depending on the environment they live in, depending on their stressors, whether or not they can make these sort of shifts for themselves to avoid whatever it is that's causing them the sort of pathologies that they're mired up in. So and I guess the nice thing about the fitness business is most of those concerns can be sort of bracketed and put to the side, and what you're focused on is the individual's physical well-being as much as their mental well-being, right? Because the two sort of definitely go hand in hand. And you know, the benefits of training, I think in a lot of instances will outweigh, for many individuals, the benefits of receiving mental health care. But I don't know. There's just for me the thought of working with people uh, in the most intimate way, and getting them to cough up their trauma and their tribulations, and to me that for some reason that's just like the most exciting, enticing thing, because there's a kind of growth there that can come from that's really immeasurable, right? We can quantify the results that come from being engaged in a physical fitness routine. We can measure them, but if you help somebody to loosen up some kind of traumatic, symptomatic complex, or compromise formation, or dig up some repressed memories or some repressed experiences that in the present are these things that cause people to act in ways that just prolong and promote their own misery in life. If you can help people to overcome that, there's something about that I think the rewards would, for me, outweigh merely helping somebody achieve more physical fitness, more confidence, and all this sort of positive stuff, these positive results. Psychoanalysis really aims to not so much create any kind of positive, not add any kind of positive attribute to somebody's life, but rather to take away the sort of things about their personalities that are deeply ingrained and that cause people to engage in repetitive symptomatic behaviors that serve no other purpose than to keep them exactly where they've been in terms of their own sense of life and its worth, and that is not really a good thing unless you're riding high all the time, in which case you will probably not go and see a mental health professional. But for whatever any of that talk is worth, so we're approaching the 20-minute mark. I'm feeling this go a little stale here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that might be worth exploring as I tire out here and get ready to put myself down to bed. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what I'll start doing is paying attention to my dreams and trying to log those. That could be an exciting sub-project of this entire thing in and of itself, right? I could sit down, I could start writing my dreams, and I could start telling them on the channel, and try and decipher them, and with your help, as my attentive viewer and listener. So there's a thought. Wake up tomorrow, start logging my dreams. Let's plan for it. And in the meantime, I'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you next time.